Alright, what's up everybody? We are on the 8th episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is called the 5th Laboratory. Yeah, that's of course where we're going. We already saw that in the last episode, in the final minutes. Edward and Elle actually heading to that prison, right? That was supposed to be sort of used as a 5th laboratory, I guess. So it was like was it actually an abandoned building near the prison? I'm not sure anymore, to be honest. But they had figured that like, oh, perhaps to research or to do experiments, I guess, involving the Philosopher's Stone and stuff, they had to use live test subjects, right? And so the prisoners were sort of a perfect fit for that. And it becomes this super interesting conversation of actually, going up against the system, I guess, right? It's like Edward and Alphonse are getting closer and closer to uncovering a couple things about their own government that they're technically working for, I guess, which they might not be entirely on board with. I mean, who's to say? That's sort of the question that I ask myself, right? It's kind of what the whole story has been about all this time, and I myself touched upon it already a couple times, but like, how we've heard some of the alchemists. I think back to the freezing alchemist way back in the first episode, but also, yeah, I don't know if Scar actually mentioned anything like this himself, but some people had indicated that was Dr. Marco, right, who sort of had his regrets and stuff, that like, yeah, is the government really somebody who you want to be siding with here either? And so I myself, again, I'm going to say it for the 1000th time, but like, I'm not taking any sides here necessarily, right? But I feel like there is something to be said for what some of our quote-unquote antagonists have been saying all this time now. Which is going to be interesting to just learn more about, right? Simultaneously, of course, we do have different parties as well, like Lust and Gluttony, who I do wonder what their backstory is and how they fit into this whole picture, basically, right? I'm sure that they're not going to be characters that I want to be rooting for by the end. Don't get me wrong. Uh, they surely aren't right now, let me at least say that. But again, what's their backstory? How do they fit in with all the people from Ishval, for example, right? I mean, we know that Scar is from Ishval, and he sort of has his own morals, and he follows his religious code. And so I can, at least right now, I can... how do I put that? Like, I can see where he's coming from. You get what I'm saying? I can't see where Lust and Gluttony are coming from yet, apart from just wanting world domination and being assholes. So I feel like that's probably what they're gonna stay like, don't get me wrong, but again, there has to be some kind of backstory there, right? Like they lived in a certain place, they're from a certain region, they have, I don't know, they fit in with this whole thing somehow. Simultaneously, it's like, okay, who on the government side, who's gonna be actually being involved with those experiments, for example, right? Who's going to know more? Who's going to perhaps actually not want Edward and Alphonse to discover certain things here? That's also going to be interesting because I feel like, yeah, I mean, again, that's why they used this prison or whatever, or at least they used the prisoners to perform some of these experiments without the public really knowing. That's, I mean, they didn't want that to come out. So clearly it's something that they do want to cover up. And that they probably don't want other people to know about. And so there's going to be some people in that government, wanting to protect that secret and not wanting, I think, Edward and Alphonse to find out about it. So that's basically where we're at right now with the show, guys. Of course, if you enjoy my reactions to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, you can watch the next 8 episodes straight away over on my Patreon page, which will be linked on top of the description. Over there, we're already going to be on episode 16, so go and catch up right now. Full-length reactions will be there as well, if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. And then with that being said, let's dive into episode 8 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Right. And they were about to be attacked. Should have mentioned that. Number 66. That's her work name, sure. Okay, this dude enjoys it. What a weird personality he has. Well, that sure looks like an alchemist circle, right? Oh. Pops. Okay, 48 and 66. Dude, who are these guys? I'm not your pop. By who? By the government, right? Do they work for the government? Oh my god. Prosthetic arm. It's auto mail, my guy. Don't underestimate it. He has some, like, chains. Hollow on the inside. I was gonna say, so it's just like Alphonse. Okay. Are we gonna know him? Slicer. The mass murderer. Oh, yeah. So he was one of the experiments. The watchdog. He's gonna show him as well. Okay. You gotta open his helmet and stab him right in there. Yeah, I was gonna say, why would you even do that? Wow, this cut. Oh god. What the hell? He's calling him, talking about his family. Oh man. What are you doing here, dude?
身元不明の遺体が多数見つかっている。いずれも腐敗が進んでいて確認が難しい。
Oh. What, they found all of these in the sewer network, or?
死んだとする意見が多いのが現状だ。その様子ならエルリック兄弟の護衛もじきに解けそうだな。護衛は今もアームストロング少佐が。ああ、少佐の部下が引き継いだし。
You were played, yeah. This is why they had Armstrong looking out for them. Because these two ain't shit. Okay, well at least they know where they're going, right? Well, they're gonna send the whole squad there then, I guess. Settle it quickly. Something tells me we're gonna be here for a little bit. This fight ain't gonna be over in a minute. Damn, man. He really does feel like some kind of Dark Souls boss. I don't know about that. He might be defeated already. Exactly. What? Is that what's gonna be like? Yeah, exactly. I trust my brother. Alphonse is even stronger than him. Damn. He said it without reluctance. He basically just admitted that he's the small one. Wow. Is that it? Okay, he's just like, yeah, I see. Where's his weak spot gonna be, though? He was a butcher? A codger? Is that the same thing? Oh no, that's how he ended up in prison. Yeah, I see. Butchering real people. Oh my god. Wow. I love the art style here and what they're doing, how they're telling the story. Oh, people think that he died. Yeah, okay. Yeah, oh, which place would that be? Definitely hadn't figured that yet. He's very proud of it still, I see. Exactly. Telling it with such ego. Dude, you're looking at somebody who's literally like you. Exactly. No, not like that. What? Oh. What? What is he trying to stir into him? Is that possible? Nah, they're not gonna be in on it. I mean, it's interesting, because now I genuinely have to consider that, like, that's a possibility, I guess. Holy shit. Well, he hasn't taken care of him yet. What? Oh, he just distracted the... Yeah, I see. Smart. No such thing as dirty in a fight. Well, you still gotta hit the weak spot, right? Yeah. He's like, you wanna die? Oh god, you wanna die.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
He had a different weak spot in there as well.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Okay, here comes a twist. Wow. Turned that against you. Short stuff. Ah man, this is like the 8 balls in Sekiro. He like fooled you. Score? Oh shit! What did he just think about and do? Oh my god. Wow. Well, in that case, Alphonse wouldn't be, yeah. What'd I tell you? You can't look at it that way.
欠員があんだろう。そいつ自分で消すんだよ。それで死ねばお前は本物だ。それでも動いてりゃ鎧人形さ。
Well, we're not gonna try that.
だったら俺がやってやるぜ。
俺の弟は人間だ。あんたらも人間だ。
我ら兄弟、物心ついた時から盗み壊し殺してきた。それがこんな姿となって初めて人間扱いされるとは。
Yeah.
面白い。
Well,
小僧、置き土産
should you not be grateful for that?
賢者の石を
I see. Well, he kind of is. That's why he's telling him about it now.
命じた者は
Oh, shit, dude. Is that Lost? Fuck. Okay, well, here's the encounter I've been waiting for.
ダメよ48。余計なこと喋っちゃ。
So they were doing this for her?
あらら、なんで鋼の落ちびさん
What
が
if
いる
she
の？
is actually on the government
困った
side?
ね。どうやってここのことを知ったの？
That honestly would make sense why they would go up against Scar as well. Damn, man.
やかましいんだよ、このボケが。
I've been assuming them to be their own party so far, but
なんだ貴様ら。計画ってなんだ。人柱ってどういうことだ。あら、やる気満々だよこの落ち。
don't call him that.
腕が壊れてよかったね。
Oh,
余計
dude.
な怪我しなくて済んだんだからさ。いいこと坊や。あなたは生かされてるってことを忘れるんじゃないわよ。
Allowed to live.
またこんな坊やが現れると困るわ。俺さ、ずっとお前に言おうと思ってたけど、怖くて言えなかったことがあるんだ。
兄さんは何を言おうとしてた？
Ooh, good
怖くて
question.
言えなかったこと。
No, but I think he was talking about the fact that he saw... Yeah, like he saw that god-like figure or whatever, right? That's something that his brother hadn't seen. Shit, but now this is gonna make him actually question... Yeah, I see. I don't think he has anything to worry about, though, Alphonse. It was... Yeah. It's not what this guy was telling him. Dude, I'm like genuinely questioning now if the father that Gluttony... Lost is talking about...
おとなしく投稿しなさい。
Okay, here we go. Could the father actually be their father? That would be an interesting twist, because their father is going to come into play somehow. That just randomly popped up in my head. Oh, yeah, they're destroying the prison. Man. Yeah, you gotta rescue. Oh, okay. Don't worry. Edward doesn't need rescuing. Yo, how are they helping him out?
あとさ、あんまり無茶しないように、あんたたちしっかり見張っててよね。
これは爆発物で建物が崩れ落ちる音ですよ。この近さだと隣の第五研究所ですか、ね。ああ、いい音だ。体の底に響く実にいい音。
What the hell?
死後は慎めキンブリー。
Oh, this guy! Yeah, we saw him in the first episode.
つい嬉しくなりましてね。
What's his deal? Damn, they're doing a lot of teasing right now, man. I'm trying to figure out what all the parties are that we're dealing with. Who belongs to who? Oh, he's gonna keep thinking about this. That threw Alphonse off guard majorly. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and the next 8 episodes are gonna be available on Patreon straight away. Link on top of the description, go and check it out. Yeah, what are the parties that we're dealing with? That's basically the main question that I ask myself right now. Who belongs to who? How does it all sort of come into play? If there's anything that this episode made clear to me, it's like, okay, we really are dealing sort of with a huge conspiracy here, right? And it is actually interesting that thinking about, as far as I'm aware, but I start to really sort of second guess myself a lot. But I thought it was the government that was supposed to be involved here with performing some of these experiments, right? And yeah, trying to create this philosopher's stone or whatever, doing experiments with it and stuff. And so these guys here, yeah, I mean, it's cool how we got sort of the backstory for what were they called, 48 and 66, I think. You know, them sort of giving their own stories about themselves, like being the butcher and stuff. I really liked the way they did that, but they were punished. They were sent to prison and basically used now, yeah, as experiments, right? And sort of successfully so, it seems. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know what the Philosopher's Stone was supposed to have done, actually, in the first place. Like, what were the experiments supposed to be? What happened is that, once again, there was transmutation performed, right? And they were turned very, very similarly to Alphonse. They were turned into these literal, like, suits of armor, I guess, that still had the souls bound to them and stuff, right? I don't think that's exactly what they planned to do with them, but what did they plan? Like, did they actually kill them, and were they planning on using the Philosopher's Stone to try and bring them back? I guess that's what the original plan was, right? But in fact, what happened is the same thing that happened to Alphonse. So I guess they were actually failed experiments. But the thing that's super interesting is that it's Lust coming in here with I forget what the second one is called, but I think it was called Envy, right? But it's those two coming in to cover it all up. They didn't want them actually telling the truth to Edward there in the moment. And that is interesting, because then I ask myself, so are they working for the government? Is there some kind of faction within the government that has these guys working for them? It would make a lot of sense too. That also does explain why Scar was actually an enemy of them, and why they were set against Scar simultaneously there as well. Again, we know that they constantly bring up the father, right? And I already started to speculate, like, oh, so could it actually be literally Edward and Alphonse's father that Lust is working for somehow? Is that I mean, we know that father is supposed to be, like, I don't know why they would call him father, but still, we know that Edward's father was supposed to be an alchemist as well. I think, well, I don't know. Maybe I've just been assuming that, but that he was working for the government at some point or another. Yeah, again, there might be some sort of branch here in the government that really is sort of involved in all of this, and we might not actually want to be on the same side with. That's going to be the real question to ask ourselves, right? I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to say whether we would be or not, because Edward, for example, is he's willing to take it there. Like, he's willing to, at this point, you know, like go or use that Philosopher's Stone, I guess, find it to try and actually bring Alphonse back as well, right? They still want to bring people back, but then you've got these people on the Israel side, like Scar, who feels like it's that third part of alchemy, reconstruction or whatever, that's sort of frowned upon, right? And that shouldn't be done, because that's messing with the rules of God, I guess, right? That's not something that alchemy should be used for. You know, like, I feel like Edward wouldn't even necessarily disagree with the government doing any of that at this point. But then again, maybe he's going to find out certain things, and like he's going to figure that he actually won't be on that side anymore. Yeah, it's very fascinating right now. But again, that remains sort of the main question on my mind at the moment. It's like, what are the parties? Who can I side with? Who is Edward ultimately going to be siding with? And it's fascinating as well how it's literally these two guys here that, you know, Envy or whatever, he brought Edward out and he like handed them back to them. They weren't planning on killing him there, which is super interesting. Why not? You know, I yeah, it's it remains the biggest question for now, like I said. So, guys, I hope you all enjoyed my reaction and review to episode 8 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you did, you can watch the next 8 episodes straight away over on my Patreon page, which will be linked on top of the description. Over there, we're already going to be on episode 16, so go and check it out. And then with that being said, I want to thank you all a lot for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.